Hey, what's going on guys, Guns4 here. I've not done an explanatory video in a while and I really thought it was time I put up one, so this is the explanatory video that I'm putting up today. The deck profiles that I have mentioned before, such as the deck profile on the upgraded Liberators, and possibly I'll be uploading one upgraded Kagero, the Blaze budget deck. Those two will definitely be coming very soon. Although I asked you all to give me time because, like I said, because when I'm term, it's really not that easy to upload videos and to even find quality material. I barely go to the shop these days, and I'm following from word of mouth or from previous experiences that I have from the few friends who are willing to battle me in my own circumstances, and I'm grateful for that. As for the Stride of Papadums, I really like to do a collab video with him soon. Just hoping for when he's free and stuff. In addition, I am trying to negotiate on whether I could even do a collab with Crossbones Vanguard. Is that how? Yeah, Crossbones Vanguard, because they actually, one of them actually go to my local shop, and I was asking whether I could collab with them. Hopefully, in the near future, if they allow, and yeah, you can see me one of their videos, and maybe they'll come over to this channel. So really exciting possibilities. So just to update you all. But of course, this is after my exams. I can't be doing this like studying for, I don't know, physics, and Sunday I'll be playing children's trading cards. It's not very practical for me. So this video is actually featuring more about a deck that I did that is very controversial at this point in time. No, it's not Vermilion. I know Vermilion has been receiving a little bit of hate around here, so I'm still skeptical on uploading it. If y'all really want to see it, do like this video and subscribe if you want to see when he comes out. If not, I will do him sooner or later. Don't get frustrated about that. But when is the main timing I'm waiting for? So I really want to talk about this guy, the original Blaster Blade. And the original Blaster Blade has received, well, he's quite the talk right now because of the legend deck against the Peace Saver and all the debate. And people have just, I really expected Blaster Blade to really rise back as a meta deck, but I think the timing for our old friend here just wasn't right. With Shiranui, Chrono Jet still getting support after GPT-11, and now there's other stuff cropping up, and even Luad is now back on the rise with his new evolution stride. Our friend here just doesn't fit, and this has its benefits and its its downsides. Like for say, with him not being back in the meta, you won't see everybody playing MLB anymore. Although yes, this has given Blaster players the support they needed. Swordsman of Light and the whole Alfred crossover thing wasn't bad, but it definitely could be improved. There were so many loopholes, it just wasn't fun to play anymore. And when I promised y'all I'll do a Swordsman of Light deck, I actually scrapped it just to build this deck because I felt it was so much more worth it. So what I wanted to, I'm just strafing back, coming back to the topic here, is that he's really not meta, which I'm not saying he should be, but he's not receiving the response I was hoping for as him being a meta deck once again. Yeah, sure, some people treat him like, it's a better deck. Like me, I definitely prefer playing him now over the old Swordsman of Light deck, but it just isn't enough to cope in the meta with Chrono Jet and Shiranui. And today I wanted to discuss on that, on how we could improve that. I'm not saying introduce a new card, oh, broken blaster card, no. We don't want any more repetitions of this guy. Where'd he go? Oh. Where'd he go? I think he's hiding. Come on, show yourself. We don't want any more repetitions of this guy. Sure, he was good, but he really shattered the game for us for a good period of time. And he is definitely one of the reasons I would think that Blaster decks are still quite stable, because they give you so many different priorities to settle on that Blaster decks just, well, they're kind of in a mess right now. So this video is meant to discuss on the possibilities of what Blaster could become and how you could also deal with one of the new Blaster support's greatest issue, which is, well, a term I like to say, resource management. Now, resource management is actually, to me, the most important. If he can even beat meta decks in the one way that they will never imagine, them decking out. I can do this with Pelennor, I'm working on it with Garmor, but Blaster just runs out of fuel and you can't deck anybody out. I know decking out may seem like a cheap strategy, but for people who trying to come across a really cancerous deck. I mean, I decked out CBD. I made a CBD deck out, and honestly, I know what some of you are thinking. Oh, you're resorting to just deck outs to beat. No, honestly, I would like a fair and fun game for everybody. But when it comes down to this, and you have to get past a 14 card hand, I think the only solution is to deck out. I'm not encouraging new meta to be deck outs, but I would suggest for any one of you who are struggling out there to be a meta deck, try and deck them out. And the only way to deck them out is to make sure you are still alive, and that is through resource management. Resource management, even if you don't want to beat them through deck outs, resource management still is important in whatever any deck you play. If you sap out with all 4 quintets, not only do you get rid of your counterblast, but you also get rid of many of the cards in your deck. Of course, with Legion you can get some of them back, but it's not the full refund you want. So there are issues such as this that do exist today that can be improved on, and Blaster does have this issue as well. So the problem with it is when you strike Exceed, you usually search for, say, Strike Fodder to support Exceed with another Exceed, and then you go on with the next Exceed and the next Exceed, which can provide reliable strides, but it really just takes up what Blaster should be. Blaster is meant for the rear guard, and it's not a bad strategy, but for me, I found it the most draining. The second most draining strategy I found is when people play this. This is New Style Blaster Liu from GBT 11. Is it GBT 11? Yeah, GBT 11. I was really proud to get him beforehand, before the actual release, but this is him. I'm gonna put him there for a while. New Style Blaster Liu has the ability to cycle Blaster from the drop zone to the bottom of the deck and grant Liu 5k. But Liu has that other handy ability that gives him the whole, give him 5k shield and intercept. That is really Liu's saving grace. Because the whole recycle back only works once, you're putting down a strike fodder to save another strike fodder, which really doesn't make sense to me. In my opinion, when strikes came out, I preferred to save great trees in my hand. Unless you have actual strike fodders in your hand like the great ones, then you can go ahead and call this guy. There's really no issue. There are good great tree rear guards out there that should be played more often. But I am a victim of this myself. I do this myself. To cycle back Exceeds using Liu, and it's really not that efficient. You run out of great trees faster than you think. And you don't have to take my word for it. Just watch anybody play an Exceed deck the way I just mentioned, and you will see it yourself. So this is a real issue. Now, today's episode is meant to discuss on how we can stop this from happening, how we can stop this whole thing and help Blaster really do the resource management it needs. Now, if any one of you do get lost in this video from here onwards, I strongly recommend y'all watch the Blaster deck profile that I did. That will give you more insight on what's really in this deck and what's not, in case y'all have a different idea of what I'm saying and you may get confused. I'm really building a stereotype deck with a few twists of my own. So yeah, just expect mainstream cards. First of all, one of the greatest ways you can help Blaster Blade is with Barkwell. This is from GBT 06, I believe, the one that if Blaster Blade appears in a similar column, counter charge 1. Now this counters Blaster Blade and Blaster Blade Exceed appearing in the same column. So by putting this down behind your Vanguard and then riding Exceed, you do get a counter charge off already. So this is unrestricted. You can counter charge as many times as you want, so long as you can pop Blaster Blades for every one. And it is quite a good counter charger for the value that it is. So that is one way you can save your counter blast. The second strategy I can give is with your massive counter charging and with this Kanzen. Yes, this is actually very good to call it from hand, discard a card, Kanzen it, and then counter charge with another one. Now, a problem is that if you combine it with this guy, let me find him. This will take a little bit. If you combo him Marin, you can't exactly use the perfect guard ability, which is one downside of this perfect guard. But it's not so bad to the point that you won't play him. Sure, people play the Lian, but the Lian sets up more soul than I think. And while you're playing things like Myra and what's that guy? The Soul Sapper guy. And Marin, yeah, the great for Marin, you find out that your soul really doesn't stand a chance. Sure, Liu can cycle back to the soul, and as well as the Margal, but it's not as efficient as what most people think. In theory, when you actually play, most of those cards are put to the drop zone, damage zone, or somewhere else, and are not put to their proper use of soul charging to the soul blast. So really, this is the better perfect guard for Blaster Blade. So I do recommend y'all playing him. If y'all do want to play Lien, I'm really okay that Lien is a good Kanzen, but for the sake of resource management, I would play that guy. The other guy I would, like I said, Leo is definitely needed in this deck because of the whole cycling to the soul and called Blaster Blade. This can out rattle your own resources, as you have to make a choice on which Blaster Blade you are planning to, evolve into. So that really does put the toll on it. But other than that, for putting it back in soul, and if you are most likely supported by Bargo, the counter blast isn't much of a problem. So this is kind of like, how do I say, you get a refund for your counter blast. So Liu is one option, you can save your soul. Another option that another strategy that I could recommend is playing Wingar Brave, which I don't have. Wingar Brave gives you a blaster unit without counter blast, and you get your soul, and it's not generation break restricted. Whereas for Bargle here, the new Bargle, because of the meta of hand locking and rear guard locking, as in making sure you can't call that many. So Bargle here, who's generation break restricted, doesn't. I barely get to use Bargle. So it's really, Bargle is good, but Wingar Brave is definitely a better option in my opinion. Something else is that because, like I mentioned, the new meta focuses a lot on restricting your opponent's rear guards. These two work very well hand in hand. If you have the legend deck, you would get a set of these. Now these guys, when you call them to rear guard from hand, counter blast one, spirit call another one of your choice. Another one of your choice means you can build up, for example, the Leo Bargle combo, or putting in another Flogel for the Exceed to attack again. So of course this is good for building up rear guards. It's a one-time trick, but I say they're definitely worth the value in this. Of course they're generation break restricted, so that's the only problem. Now the problem doesn't really lie in the deck itself for resource management, but also within the extra deck. Playing 2 Myriad Soul Savers will not help anybody because there's no way you can rack up a Soul Blast 6 throughout the entire game. If you do let me know, I'd love to see that, but I don't think this is feasible. Therefore, actually I do want to update for the Blaster deck profile. I remove 1 Myriad and now play 1 Samuel. Samuel, while heavy on the counter blast, is quite good in the event that you do have all 5 rear guards to deal the actual opponent damage. In a Blaster deck, every damage is worth it, so I did decide to put Samuel on. Another card that's definitely good is of course D-Man himself, Ganslot Peace Saver. The drive +1, crit +1, counter charge 1, everything about Ganslot is just value. Is he the finisher you all want to use? Honestly, he's not a bad finisher, but he should not be a finisher. Instead, I use him to really set up the board in the preferable way. So like when you use darts like Alfred, they won't just get burnt away by, say, what's the new irritating G-Guard, the Kagero one. I don't know. Most likely Nubatama will be getting something similar knowing Bushiroad, but Ganslot Peace Saver really makes sure that what you invested does not go away. The resist, sure, it's only on your turn, but it still resists. And in case you all don't know, today updated on the Cardfight Weekend, there was an update on GBT 12 featuring a Cray Elemental that gets Counterblast 1, 5k resist on your opponent's turn. And that thing is most probably going to be the most Gear Chronicle counter I've seen so far from Bushiroad. First of all, being Cray Elemental, every deck can use it. I strongly think it will be a great counter to Gear Chronicle. Of course, whether I'm right or wrong, I really am not sure. Maybe this is all rubbish, maybe it just end up being a low meta card, I wouldn't know. So far the potential is there. That card is definitely worth putting in this deck, at least 1 or 2 if y'all, because it can give you resist. So having resist means it can really stay on the field, and knowing Royal Paladin, every card that stays on the field is something your opponent has to deal with when you build up. So that's definitely a card I would recommend for all decks like Gurgit, Blaster Blade, Pelennor, anything that you need a feel on. You need that common Krill Elemental. I think it's a saving grace. Of course, once again, it can be absolute bullcrap, so I wouldn't know. So actually, that is pretty much it for this explanatory video. It was quite skimpy with a lot of my other commentary, but that is all I have to say. Please, the only thing I have to say for Blaster users is be careful with every card in your deck, because they can change the tide of battle. You don't have to resort to deck out to win. You can also play fair, but remember, Gear Chronicle, well, Gear Groovy is there. And now there's a new Chrono Jet evolution coming up very soon. You saw the image on GBT12. So Blaster users, prepare to get massacred. If you don't massacre, you can only adapt. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.